Auf den Spuren der Schleimpilze. Ein Podcast für Neugierige.
I warmly welcome you to the first episode of On the Trail of Slime Molds. My name is Anna Bursac, and as part of my final project, I created this podcast about slime molds. In today's episode, as well as in the 4 further episodes of this series, I get to the bottom of the slime mold. Slime mold? What even is that? A very justified question. Slime molds, also called Myxomycetes, are most often found in forests. Diverse and hidden. If you don't look closely, you might easily overlook them. The delicate veins of their plasmodium silently creep across the damp forest floor. On your next visit to the forest, dear audience, I invite you to take a closer look at the microcosm of the forest, especially in autumn. Keep an eye out for tree stumps and rotting branches. I recommend looking underneath leaf litter and decaying branches. Simply lift them gently and look closely. If you have a garden, you can examine that just as well. A slime mold can be found wherever it is nicely moist for it and where the sun's beams cannot harm it. However, Myxomycetes are masters of transformation. They take on many different forms and are prepared for any kind of weather. In their vegetative stage, that is, as a plasmodium, they can transform into a sclerotium. For example, if it is too cold or too dry, the sclerotium is the resting form of a Myxomycete. In this process, the slimy plasmodium hardens. In this dormant state, it can survive for months. When more favorable conditions arise, the slime mold transforms back again. For reproduction, however, it undergoes its most impressive transformation and, similar to true fungi, forms fruiting bodies. The fruiting bodies of a slime mold are called fructifications. Such fructifications show the greatest diversity. This is because the plasmodia essentially differ only in their coloration. They are usually milky white to yellow or orange. Apart from that, they are all slimy, unicellular, and multinucleate. This is very important to know. The plasmodia of true slime molds consist of a single cell, and the many nuclei ensure, for example, that individual parts of the plasmodium can continue to develop independently if separated from one another. Quite practical, right? If you cut a plasmodium into 2 parts, both become independent individuals. All plasmodia have this in common. The fructifications, on the other hand, are as unique as each slime mold species. Shape and color are always different. They can be spherical, sit on a stalk, be cushion-like in structure, or even be shapeless. The Myxomycetes have not limited themselves here, and like true fungi, mature fruiting bodies release spores. But slime molds are not fungi. The network of veins in the vegetative stage may resemble the mycelium of a fungus, which is also structured like a network. And yet they are not fungi. Of course, certain phases of the life cycle do overlap with those of fungi, but there are 2 significant differences. Firstly, the plasmodia of a Myxomycete can move. Animals do that too. Slime molds may creep slowly, but they do move forward bit by bit. Fungi are sessile. Secondly, slime molds are unicellular. Their plasmodia consist of a thin plasma membrane and plasma mass. Fungi do not. The mycelium of a fungus consists of cells called hyphae. Additionally, fungi have a cell wall, even when they are unicellular. If one looks at slime molds on a purely genetic level, they are closer to humans than to fungi. Myxomycetes are now assigned to the amoebozoa. This is due to the way they move. To conclude this episode, I would like to present a few fun facts about the Myxomycetes. The slime mold Physarum polycephalum ended up in the Guinness Book of Records in 1987 as the largest single cell in the world. At University of Bonn, a plasmodium that covered a full 5.5 square meters was cultivated. The same slime mold, Physarum polycephalum, became known by its nickname blob. It was named after the slimy alien monster from the sci-fi and horror film The Blob. The film is already 70 years old today, but the nickname has stuck. Slime molds are fascinating organisms, and they stand out above all in one respect. They are neither fungus, nor plant, nor animal. and yet they possess characteristics of all three. That being said, I say goodbye for today. Thank you for listening today, and see you in the next episode.
Sie haben gehört, auf den Spuren der Schleimpilze. Schön, dass Sie heute dabei waren. Bleiben Sie dran.